Last October, I boarded the Resilient Lady, the third and most recent Virgin Voyages ship, for a 45-night voyage departing from Athens, Greece, to Sydney, Australia, with stops at ports in Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, India, Indonesia, and many other places that have been on my bucket list since I was a little boy. I won't deny that I was super excited about the ports, but above all, I was very curious and a little afraid about boarding a ship from the super popular and unusual Virgin Voyages for the first time, especially for such a long trip. Virgin Voyages is a new player in the cruise industry, having launched in 2020 with the promise of innovation and shaking up many cruise traditions that have been long-standing features of more established cruise companies. Although I think that not all the innovations and changes on board were for the better, I really appreciate what the company is doing, and I can't deny that I had a sensational and unforgettable voyage on board Resilient Lady. In future videos, we'll talk more about the trip and ports we visited. But today, I'm going to show you all the common areas of the Resilient Lady and tell you some interesting facts and tips along the way, as we explore all the ship's decks together. And if you like this video, don't forget that it's just the first video about the ship that I'm making for the channel. I have so much to share with you, not only about the ship's amenities, restaurants and shows, but also about each of the ports we visit during the Resilient Lady first epic journey between Greece and Australia. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe and press the bell to be the first to know when the next video is up. But now, it is time to visit the beautiful Resilient Lady together. Let's go! Hello cruise mates! Welcome to Cruising the World. I'm Horton Novak, and on this channel we talk about cruises and trips around the world and everything in between. In today's video, we will explore together all the main decks of Virgin Voyages' super modern Resilient Lady. The Resilient Lady began sailing in May 2023 and is the third and newest ship in the Virgin Voyages fleet. Although Virgin Voyages is a very new company that only began operating the cruise market in 2020, it brings with it the legacy of all the innovative companies in the Virgin Group, best known for its mega stores, gyms, and of course, its fleet of commercial planes. The legacy is evident in the innovative and fresh ship designs, as well as the modern ways in which they operate in today's cruise market. The Resilient Lady is a medium-sized ship, measuring 278 meters long and weighing 110,000 gross tons, just like Virgin Voyages' previous two ships. She has 17 decks, of which 13 are dedicated to passengers. She offers 1,430 cabins that can accommodate up to 2,770 passengers and 1,160 crew members per voyage. Most of the time, passengers will first board the ship here on Deck 7. This is to be expected, since Decks 6 and 7 are like the ship's heart, where most of the services, attractions and restaurants are located. The roundabout, a beautiful spiral marble case in the center of the area, connects the two decks and often becomes the main attraction or meeting point during some of the special events on board. Here the passenger has access to services and most of the internal and external spaces that the ship has to offer between the back and front of the ship. But let's start exploring Deck 7. This red table, better known on board as the chart table, is the Shaw Thinks area, a place to visit for everything related to ship excursions while on board. Here, passengers can book port excursions in person, if they prefer to speak to someone rather than use the somewhat buggy phone app. The area also doubles as a meeting and departure point for many excursions booked on board. They have these panels here that show, among other things, promotional ads and the schedule of events for the day on board. The Get Lost area is next door, a space to book your next Virgin Voyages cruise while still on board. They offer several promotional prices along the voyage to incentivize the passengers to book the next cruise while they are still on board. And it seems to be working, as there were quite a few queues here during this trip. Continuing this corridor will take us to the forward venues in this deck, and we will check this area in a little while. Here is the Voyage vinyl area. A DJ plays here for a few hours during the day, and there are also some mini events, like group painting, where passengers can spend time together being creative while coloring illustrations printed on a large canvas mounted in this area. Just passing the DJ's booth is the vinyl record store, an interesting option in this age of digital music platforms. In my opinion, the shop is more of a mini museum or tribute to the beginnings of Richard Branson and his Virgin Records, as the shop was rarely open for business. I really like the contrast in the central area. The space is simple and elegant, but at the same time, the lights and holographic dividers create a super modern and futuristic ambiance. Here in this corner, we have the draft halls, a popular bar known on board for its large selection of beers and spirits. They have some dedicated tables and chairs around here. Even though it's common not to find place to sit around here during the day, as many passengers come here to chat, play cards or dominoes, or appreciate the view while enjoying a drink or two from the bar. A curiosity about the central area that I had no idea about and had never heard anyone talk about before? Well, at least until when during one of our many conversations during this voyage, a crew member told me about it. It is about these lights, the circle of white lights just above the roundabout. Did you notice that just a small section gradually changed color and turned red? Take a closer look. These two sections here are the only ones in red. The reason for this is that the red lights point north. Yep, you guessed right. This section works like a huge compass. Change position according to the ship's location during the voyage. From here you can see a bit better. All the white lights and just two red areas. This is a fun fact about the ship that I found super interesting. It's something almost no one knows about, so I couldn't help but share it with you here on our channel. Here in the central area, between these huge screens that always show scenes with the Virgin Voyages red color and nautical themes, such as boats with red sails, we have the entrance to the elevators and stairs in the central part of the ship. But before I explore this area, I'm going to return to the port side, because I still have other things to show you in this area of Deck 7. Here the port side exit to the external area of Deck 7. In this little corner, we have the Lick Me to Ice Cream. Virgin Voyages ships are adult only, and as you might have noticed, many places on board are named with pretty funny puns, like this one. You'll see many more of those during our tour. The Lick Me to Ice Cream, as you might imagine, is just the name of the popular ice cream kiosk here on Deck 7. Every day, they serve several flavors of ice cream here, and usually one of them is a special flavor of the day that will only be available once during each voyage. Like most restaurants and snacks bars on board, the delicious ice cream served here is included in your package. Once again, it's empty here because it is still quite early. During the day, especially when the ship is not in port, there is always a queue here for ice cream. Passing the ice cream parlor, we arrive here at the pizza place, the onboard pizzeria. Here's another exit to the outside deck. Here, at the entrance, there is a place to wash your hands before eating. In these refrigerators, they always have a few drinks choices and sometimes takeaway options that the passenger can easily grab to have here or take with them. And here, they make the delicious pizzas. They offer a pizza menu, but sometimes can accommodate changes requested by passengers. I will bring other videos to the channel talking specifically about all the restaurants operating on board this ship. Don't forget to subscribe to be the first to know when this video and many others are available. The pizzeria offers an outdoor sitting area with great views of the ocean, and also this cozy indoor space for you to enjoy your pizza. One really cool thing on board is the graph signage on the ship. I love the fun interpretation of mermaids for the women's, men's, and disabled bathrooms in the common areas of the ship. In fact, the disabled toilet is a universal space and can be used by any passenger on board. But let's keep going here to the stairs and elevators area. Using the stairs in the central area of the ship, you can access all passengers' decks on board. The red lines on the carpet are here to show where you are on the ship and also to indicate that the set of stairs can take the passengers from the lowest to the highest deck of the ship without interruptions. While the stairs with carpets with purple or blue lines, in addition to indicating your position on the ship, also signalize that the set of stairs don't reach all decks or are blocked for passengers on some of them. In the central area, we have 6 elevators. These machines to disinfect your hands are everywhere in the ship. But let's go back here to the central area of the ship at the roundabout and start exploring the other side of this deck. And you turn right here to the other side. On this side, in the charming cozy corner, they have a small library with some super comfortable chairs and sofas where passengers can sit down to relax or read a book. And soon after, following along the corridor, we'll find the Grounds Club, one of the super popular cafes on board. Although all types of breads, muffins, and other pastries served here are included in your fare, all types of coffees and teas are not and incur a charge. You can find brewed coffee, which is included in your fare, at the galley on deck 15. Moving forward, we come across the popular seahorses on board. This installation is another one very popular for Instagram photos here on the Resilient Lady. Apparently, each Virgin Voyages ship has a different art installation in this space that sits just before the social club. A few more areas to sit and relax in this little corner. And talking about social club, here we are. They have a huge variety of board games and puzzles in the ship space. You can simply choose one of the games on the shelves, sit with your friends, or join other passengers in their teams for a match. There is always someone putting together these puzzles in this area. Sea monsters, especially the octopus, that's the Scarlet Knight's mascot on board, are a frequent decoration in many areas of the ship, such as in this painting here on the wall of the social club. If you want to see a bit of the Scarlet Knight on board, take a look at the short video flashing on this card above, or if you prefer to catch it later, I will also leave the link in the description of this video. Here at the social club, they also have their own snack bar. They serve many options of popular sweets, as gummy bears, in this corner. This area here with these stools and lights was definitely inspired by one of these American diners from the 50s that you always see in movies. And even the menu here takes us back to that era. They serve milkshakes, hot dogs, pretzels, and some other snacks. This area also functions as a sport bar, where passengers can watch various types of games in real time. This game table is very popular. I don't really know what to do in this game, but there are always people playing here. In fact, I've never seen this place so empty. Normally, this area is always full of passengers playing, watching games, or enjoying something to eat at the snack bar. But as I said before, it was to be expected that it would be empty here, because it's not even 7 am on a sea day, when you'll be spending the day on board. So as you can imagine, everybody's still sleeping after staying up late at the bars and the ship's parties. And the social club area is still going on this side. In fact, they have a whole bar hidden in this corner. This is the Loose Cannon, a bar decorated in nautical themes. The decor here looks like it was taken from an old ship or Captain Nemo's submarine. In this area, the entertainment team presents many games, as the popular trivia, Nintendo Switch competitions, and even karaoke sessions during the trip. In this little corner here, they have the arcade, an area that offers several popular vintage game titles. A big difference here, compared to other cruise companies, is that passengers can enjoy these games without spending a single penny, as there is no charge for them on Virgin Voyages ships. But let's go back to the social club, pass by the snack bar here, and let's keep going, heading towards the aft of the ship. In this area, they have a store. It mostly sells bikinis, swimsuits, and women's accessories. Just in front, they have a women's bathroom, conveniently located between these jewelry displays. Here is the dock house, a space where passengers can relax, enjoy some Mediterranean dishes and drinks, or watch intimate performances by singers and bands on this small stage in the corner. On this side, they have the dock house bar. And here on the side, the Wake, that is one of the 6 main restaurants on board. But let's take a look at the bar first. Here, more space for passengers to enjoy their drinks and listen to live music. Right after the bar, they have Juicy, a bar for passengers looking for something healthier. Here, they only serve fresh fruit and vegetable juices. And here on the outside, at the stern of the ship, we'll find the dock. This area offers these huge day beds, sofas, lounge chairs, and bars, including some that serve snacks at certain times of the day. But the main attraction here is the 180-degree open-air views of the ocean from the back of the ship. This external area here on Deck 7 surrounds almost the entire vessel, with the exception of the front part, which is closed on the ship. However, it is still possible to walk the entire length of Deck 7. Many passengers walk here every day. But now let's go back and continue exploring the interior of the ship. I'll go back to the dockhouse bar again, so don't get confused. And here, at the very end of the ship's interior, is the entrance to one of the largest and most opulent restaurants on board, the Wake. And right away, the gigantic chandelier and the marble staircase already indicate what kind of space to expect at the restaurant. Let's take a look. Despite its entrance being located on deck 7, the restaurant takes over a good amount of space at the stern of the ship on deck 6. They have these bigger tables for events and large groups. This restaurant is very elegant, and in my opinion, serves some of the best food on the ship. And nothing compares to this view. In fact, the views from these large windows at the back area are to blame for the restaurant's name, as you can see the ship's wake from almost any section of the restaurant. This restaurant is huge and definitely very classy and beautiful. It's a good idea to book the wake as early as you can on the Virgin app, because despite its size, it's always quite hard to find a spot on the busiest hours. Just a tip here, if you tend to get seasick, it might be a good idea to visit other restaurants, because being at the stern of the vessel, this area can vibrate a lot because of the propellers that are just below and can become a bit uncomfortable to some passengers more sensitive to nausea. But now, let's go back to the central part of the Deck 7 and explore the front of the ship. And here, following the corridor, we arrive at the Sip Lounge. This is an area where passengers come to enjoy champagne cocktails at the end of the day, but also brunch and afternoon tea during the day. They offer live music with singers and bands in this corner, and these live sessions tend to be very popular at night. Another elegant and popular space on board. This is the bar here at the Sip Room. And they serve afternoon tea at these tables. Just a note here about afternoon tea, which they actually serve from 11 AM until 3 PM for an extra charge. They offer two versions of afternoon tea, a classic one served with tea only that costs $19, and a version served with champagne that costs $35 per person. Moving forward, just outside the Sip Room, you'll find the Red Room. This is the main theater on board. The Red Room is a bit different though, because it has retractable seats that move and disappear into one of the back walls, creating a large empty space used for some productions and events on board. Unfortunately, the Red Room is closed at the moment and I won't be able to film for this video, but stay tuned to the channel as I will talk about entertainment on board and show how this space transforms from conventional theater into the huge hall in a future video about recent ladies on board shows and attractions. As I mentioned before, these are the stairs with the purple lines, which indicates the front of the ship, and also the 4 forward elevators. Here on the port side, we have another entrance to the Red Room, and the women's and men's bathrooms in this area. And here on this side, we have the groupie, a space which offers karaoke rooms for small groups. You can come here and reserve one of the rooms and let your voice out along your friends or alone. They offer 3 different rooms. The purple room that can accommodate 8 to 10 people. The pink room that can accommodate 4 to 6 people. And here, in this little corner near to the entrance, the blue room that can accommodate 2 to 4 people, or sailors. That's how passengers are called on board Virgin Voyages ships. But let's get out of the groupie and head down to explore the Deck 6. And here on Deck 6, in this corner, they offer the Den, which is almost a secret space that can be reserved for private events, groups, and classes on board. Unfortunately, it was not available to be filmed during my trip. Here's the same setup as on Deck 7. But let's check what the starboard side offers here in this deck. Here on this side, the main entrance to the Red Room. The theater occupies Deck 6 and 7 of the ship. And here, headed to the ship's aft, in exactly the same position where the ship lounge is located on Deck 7, we have the ship's casino. Although it's not very large, the casino on board Resident Lady offers several slot machines, blackjack tables, roulettes, and other games that are available for passengers to try their luck. On this side here, they have another space for shows. The Manor. You may have already seen photos of the ship's space, because it's definitely one of the most photographed spaces on board. Especially its corridor covered in mirrors and Broadway-style lights that leads to the interior of the club. Unfortunately, there's another space closed at the moment that I'll show in more details in a future video about events and shows on board. And as expected, the casino also has a bar. And we are back at the roundabout, but now on Deck 6. From this angle here on the lower part of the staircase, we can clearly see the red light on top of the roundabout that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. This area is almost mesmerizing. The ship offers some attractions on this deck, but most of all, here's where the shops on board are located. In this corner, just by the casino's door, they have the Virgin Voyages official store, where you'll find everything from t-shirts to ship miniatures. This store sells duty-free cigarettes and alcohol. High and Shine, the sunglasses store. The stable and groom, the barber on board. The dry dock, the hair salon. Here in the center, they have this area to relax or watch a live performance. They always have musicians and singers performing here. Here are the lifts in the center of the ship on Deck 6. And here, just hidden behind the roundabout circular staircase, is the On the Rocks, another very popular bar on board. Here, the entertainment team always have trivia sessions and other games during the day. However, at night, the place is transformed, and it's time to let loose by watching a live show on this stage performed by one of the guest bands, or to have a laugh with the diva, the drag queen on duty who sings and interacts with the audience and guests during her solo show. It is strange to see this place so quiet, but as I said before, it's not even 8 am on a sea day. See the things I do to bring all the details and curiosities about the ship firsthand to you? Let's go here behind the staircase and go back to the shopping street area to discover what more Deck 6 has to offer. This is the High Street, which encompasses the vast majority of shops on board. On this side, they offer several shops that sell items as designer watches, handbags, men clothes. To be honest, I found the options offered on board very limited. They don't have electronic stores, for example. So if you need something basic as a card for your camera, or even a new camera, you won't find practically anything on board. Here on this side, they have some options in personal products, medicines, and snacks. But everything is very limited and much more expensive than on dry land. That is the Squid Ink, a complete tattoo studio on the high seas, where passengers can get their tattoos on board with a renowned artist. And here, hidden in this corner, we have one of the most popular restaurants on the ship, the Extra Virgin, the Italian restaurant on board. The space here is super cozy and modern. I love the colors, and the food here is delicious too. They have some areas like this one that offer sea views. It's strange to see the restaurant completely empty, the tables without tablecloths. But believe me, at night the atmosphere here changes completely. Another huge space, as you can see. What's a good thing, because the Extra Virgin is one of the busiest restaurants and one of my favorites on board. Okay, instead of continuing forward here and returning to the roundabout, we are going to cut through the stairs and elevators area. And this is the other side of the high street, which offer more shops, including perfume and accessory stores. And here, moving towards the ship aft, hidden in this corner is another of the restaurants on board, the Test Kitchen. It is open so you can have a look. In this restaurant, everything was decorated to resemble a laboratory. You start with its clean minimalist decor, which has everything to do with the experimental cuisine theme and the molecular cuisine dishes served in the restaurant. The atmosphere here is really cool. The food and experience is interesting, but is definitely not one of my favorite restaurants on board. They offer 2 different menus that rotates during each trip. And now, back to High Street. Let's turn here in the roundabout and head down to Deck 5. Here on Deck 5, they have the Sailor Service, where passengers can seek assistance to resolve most problems that may arise on board. And passing straight through the Sailor Services area, we arrive at one of the most popular restaurants on board, the Pink Agave. You have probably already seen these entrance lights in photos on Instagram. As usual, there is a bar here at the entrance, which passengers can visit just to taste one of the exclusive cocktails or to pass time while waiting for the table for dinner. The Pink Agave offers a more modern and somewhat different approach to traditional Mexican cuisine, and is one of my favorite restaurants, if not my favorite, on board. The food here is spectacular, and the atmosphere is super modern and stylish. Okay, once again, here's the sailor services. Here in this area, smacked between the elevators, we'll find the ship's spa. The spa is huge and offers a large array of services: dry and steam sauna, hot tubs and immersion pools, some of them hot and other cold, for thermal shock treatment. They even have mud treatments. After applying mud to the body, the passenger relax in the steam room to detox and treat their skin. They also offer the sea salt room, which uses the properties of salt to alleviate and treat respiratory and skin problems and to reduce stress. Posh, right? And here in this area, they offer changing rooms with showers and lockers for passengers to change before returning to the cabin or head to explore other attractions on the ship. And here, just outside the spa and directly opposite sailor services, we will find another of the ship's restaurants, the Razzle Dazzle. Some passengers waiting here. The restaurant is open for breakfast today. Razzle Dazzle is the vegetarian and vegan restaurant on the ship. But if you are not a vegetarian, don't despair. The restaurant offers a secret menu that includes lamb shanks and even hamburgers. The decor here is also very different. All the walls and even the floors are covered with geometric lines in black and white, and of course, a little red, which is the company's color. A curiosity here is that this pattern of black and white stripes was a type of camouflage used on ships during the First and Second World Wars and meant to confuse enemies' attacks on Allied ships. And this style of camouflage not only inspired the restaurant's decor, but also its name. Razzle Dazzle was the name used for this style of painting on ships in the United States, while the English only used the term dazzle. But now, it's time to take one of the super colorful elevators to visit Deck 15, one of the most popular on the ship. And here we are, Deck 15. Here on the port side, we have the entrance to the gym. This is the cardio area. Passengers can use these lockers to store personal items while training. And you don't even need to bring your own towel to train, because the ship even provides towels for your training. They even have a room for spin classes here in this corner. Here, they also offer several exercise machines as treadmills, elliptical, and all kinds of equipment to burn those extra calories from the cruise. You may have noticed that they don't have any weight training equipment here. This is because the gym is divided into two distinct areas, this one dedicated to cardio, and the other area on the port side dedicated to weight training and yoga. The two spaces have these glass walls that surround the open air area in the center of the ship, where they have, among other things, the swimming pool and these hot tubs that you can see from here. We will have a look around the area in a bit. Not bad training with this view, right? Okay, time to take a look at the other side of the gym. This space right in front of the gym is the galley. I will also show everything in there in a little bit. Now, we just have to cross the elevators hall to get here to the weights training section. The colors in this area are much lighter, and perhaps that's why it appears to be much larger than the other side, despite the two areas basically take the same space on the deck. Here near the entrance, they have a stretching area, lockers and towel storage, and also the yoga studio. Exactly like the other side, leaving the gym straight ahead, we have another entrance to the galley. Unlike vessels or more traditional companies, the ships in the Virgin Voyages fleet do not have a buffet, but instead offer a type of food court on board, called the galley. Here at the galley, passengers can choose from a huge selection of different options and types of food available at several kiosks spread across the area. Right at the entrance, they offer stations where passengers can help themselves to water, ice, juices, and even soft drinks. This is the Bento Baby. They serve several types of delicious sushi in this station every day. You just have to choose one or more sushi flavors they prepare in those boxes and enjoy. Here at Dinner and Dash, they always offer different selection of hot foods every day, which can include chicken fillet, steak, oven-baked rice, and pastas. They also offer a breakfast menu, which, contrary to what you might expect, is served at any time of the day. Here at Talk About It, passengers will find a selection of Mexican dishes. Another drink station. This is the Noodle Around, serving selections of Asian dishes made with, you guessed it, noodles, Asian-style noodles. Here at Hot Press, you can enjoy a selection of hot sandwiches and sweets. The crew here is exceptional. You place your order at any of these stations, and then you can sit at one of these tables spread through the galley to wait or enjoy your meal. And if you want to be outdoors, you can even sit in this area outside the galley. Look at the sensational views. From down here, we have an unusual view of the hammock trampoline they have on deck 16, which, despite being a bit painful to walk on, it still is very popular on passengers' Instagram photos. We will visit this area in a bit. Here they offer several tables and places to sit to enjoy the view from the back of the ship or enjoy your meal. Cool, hey? From here you can also go to deck 16. They have 3 stairs in this area. But let's head back to the galley to explore the other food options they have available before visiting the next deck. Okay, let's get back to the galley quickly. If the passengers want to cool off, there is nothing better than visiting this cart for one of the delicious popsicle flavors available. Banana and chocolate is my favorite. Dinner and Dash again. And here is the Burger Bar, where you can choose one of the burgers on the menu or create your favorite flavor. Right next to the burger bar, you'll find Well Bread, where you'll find a large selection of bread, brioches, and other bakery products. In this space in the corner is the dessert area. It's crowded here, hey? Walking along the side towards the back of the ship, we have more tables and also another restaurant on board. Hi, the crew is fantastic. This is Ganbei, the onboard Korean barbecue. This is another quite large restaurant that almost reached the outside area that we just visited. Here at these tables, your waiter will cook your meal while entertaining you and the other guests with games and alcohol shots. During the almost 2 hours experience in the restaurant, the passenger will taste various seafoods and meat dishes prepared on these hot plates in the center of the tables, and make friends, as guests have to share the tables and interact. I love this restaurant and made several new friends on board each time I visited. Here back in the galley, we have the daily mix. In the morning, they serve several options for breakfast, from cereal to toast and jam. But at lunch and dinner, the space is dedicated to freshly made salads, some snacks, and soup options that change every day. Here they have Tap That Hot, a self-service station that offers coffee, tea, milk, and hot water day and night. Here's another of the paid cafes on board, the Grounds Club 2. And here, before you leave the galley, they offer these refrigerators that, depending on the time of the day, offer cut fruits, salads, or other goodies for passengers to pick up and take with them to the pool or their rooms. And back to the hallway and the elevators area, because now it's time to visit the pool area here on deck 15. This is the area you saw before from both sides of the gym. They offer a few more exercise bars here, and up here, this red structure is the ship's running track. Here on the center of the space, they have a huge jacuzzi, several sun loungers spread across the open and covered areas of the deck, two smaller jacuzzis, and of course, a dedicated bar. And who doesn't love sailing, right? And here on this side, more covered and outdoor spaces for passengers. Look at this view. The area is divided in a few different spaces that offer many opportunities and sun loungers to relax and spend some time by the pool. Here we can go back to the jacuzzi area, but instead, I'm gonna have a look around the pool. On this side, another bar. The pool here isn't very big, but I'll show you more from this area on the upper deck. I think we'll have a better point of view from there, and also avoid to disturb the passengers enjoying the sun here. And again, here the jacuzzis and the running track at the top. On each side of this area, they have these spiral staircases that lead to deck 16. Let's see what they have up there. Here, as I promised, is a view of the pool. It's certainly not a huge pool, but seems to be enough for the ship. This area gets much busier during Scarlet Night, even though it works more like a huge dance floor. Without saying, a lot of people end up in the water, with their clothes on and everything. You can get a better idea of the jacuzzis on deck 15. Going towards the back of the ship, they have these special areas for the suites. These cabanas are VIP areas dedicated exclusively to these passengers. Here is space to relax and enjoy the view, after a walk on the deck or a match on this sport court here in the central area. This space is even more fantastic at the end of the day, to relax with a drink and enjoy the sunset, or to play a game of chess. Once again, this area offers jacuzzis, a dedicated bar, and huge padded areas where passengers can lie down to sunbathe during the day or enjoy the sunset with a cocktail or two before dinner. And here is a trampoline, so popular in Instagram photos and YouTube. I don't recommend it if you're afraid of heights, and to be honest, you can't really walk on it because your feet will hurt a lot. The best way to make your way in is to sit and butt crawl. The bar in this area, another jacuzzi and shower, and several of these oversized swingers. But let's go up and take a look on deck 17. The running track, and I think they're having some class here at the back. Let's have a look. Wow, look at these views. This space here is called the Perch, a space dedicated to yoga, meditation, stretching, and other classes. The teacher here is Stephanie. She teaches some of those classes, but is also part of the cast of the fabulous shows on board. And another view of the running track, that by the way is called on board the Runaway. Let's take a walk around here and see the decks below. Decks 15 and 16. From here you can see the jacuzzis below. And here we are close to the Virgin Voyages logo, another famous stop for photos on board. Time to go down again to explore the rest of deck 16. Here, the passenger has more options to relax and also exercise. Virgin Voyages ships are very focused on exercise, and here they have several options for exercising outdoors that counts with even a small boxing ring. And also the training camp. This area is dedicated to group exercises or more specific training. And here is the jacuzzi area once again, with dedicated bars on deck 15 and 16 around the central space. And here is a great bird's eye view of the main pool. These red covered chairs spread across this deck are a great option to sit back and relax, read a book, sip a beer or cocktail, or simply spend time chatting with friends. Here we have the Sun Club Cafe, a place to enjoy some quick bites based on the Asian cuisine. They offer some outdoor tables for a different experience on board and great views of the ocean while you enjoy your meal. Here's the booth of the resident DJ, who livens up the area with the latest hits. And here, the outdoor smoking area. The ship also offers a room on deck 7 dedicated to smokers. In this area behind the glass is Richard's Rooftop, an exclusive area for passengers traveling in suites, which offers jacuzzis, sun loungers, sofas, and a dedicated bar. The other decks we did not visit between deck 7 and 15 are just decks with cabins and do not have any attraction dedicated to passengers. So what did you think of the resilient lady? Would you like to travel on this ship? Have you done so already? Or is she not for you? Tell me what you think. Ask questions or just say hi in the comment section below. And don't forget that I have several videos about my epic adventures on board the Resilient Lady and many more coming to the channel very soon. If you enjoy watching cruise and travel videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be the first to know when they are available on the channel. It will be great to have your company on this journey. Well, I think that's all for today. Happy travels. See you in the next video.